You ever notice how fast your mind goes to, it's them, they're the problem, they're difficult, they don't get it. And it feels completely true and justified. But if you slow that moment down just a little, something important is underneath. And most of us don't stay long enough to see it. That moment right here, that's what this podcast is about. Welcome to Seeing What's Here.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hello, good morning, Pablo.
How are you?
I'm doing good overall, I would say. I've had a lot of moments of sadness the past week with the loss of a very dear friend.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. I mean, I am sorry, but it's also bringing up a lot of good things. I know we can delve more into, grief and loss at a different podcast, but yeah, it is, yeah, I've had some really good experiences with just connection. I know she's not physically here where I can't text her or see her with these eyes, but I know she's still here. So it was just generating within me this week. That nothing is actually separate, I still feel such a strong connection to her within.
I'd like to add too, because I know Julie too, because you shared, and she wasn't a friend of mine, but I knew of her. And then I just remembered that the day of her passing, I was aware of it. And so when I was doing my meditations, I was like, yeah, I wonder where she is in the field, because she was always in the field, but now she's not, material anymore.
Right.
Now it's all just spirit. And so I just sat with that for a minute, and I don't know, it was good. And then my building popped. I always think that that's like a little sign, a synchronicity.
Right.
Because I don't think we're ever alone. I think we're surrounded all the time. That's just my thought. But you and I've talked about this before about death. Like, this is your first time for like somebody that a friend to die, right?
Yeah, I would say someone significant. I think it has been a blessing that in my life I've not been touched by death that much. I lost grandparents and godparents, but this is different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost my grandfather when I was like 6 or 7, around there, and I was really close to him, and so that was a weird experience to have, knowing that there was an existence there was a being there that made me feel safe, and all of a sudden that being is not there.
Right.
And my safety went away. And then, you have to just learn how to live within the world that you're in. It would have been nice to have had him, that understanding, that way of being. I think I spent my whole life trying to emulate that, just to get back to just being the way he was. He liked to be. He wasn't into proving himself. He wasn't into showing off. In fact, he abhorred that, people who acted like they, knew something, but then really proved to not really know that. He didn't like that. He liked men that could prove that they did stuff. And again, it didn't matter. Like, he was a truck driver, a gravel truck driver for the city, but his claim to fame was that he could get you anywhere around Dallas-Fort Worth without a map. And I thought that's pretty cool, So, but anyway, I miss that way of being, and I think I've tried to reconcile that a long time. Probably my whole life. So I think I know what you're meaning when you're like, man, where are they?
Yeah.
They were here. They were a friend. I could call them.
Yeah.
And now, where are they?
Yeah.
Where are they?
They are here. I'm not able to perceive, those who have passed with these eyes or any of these senses for, this dimensional reality. Yeah, anyway, but that's something we can definitely unpack more later, because I did have a really cool experience at the time of her passing. So,
Oh, very neat.
yeah. But I think where I've felt maybe imbalanced this week is, okay, I felt this and feel this connection and this unity with Julie's spirit. And I do want to dedicate this podcast
Oh,
to
that's a great idea.
Julie, to the elevation of her soul.
Yeah, cheers.
We love you.
Cheers to Julie.
Yeah. But then, okay, so then here's the flip side of my coin. At the same time, there are some people in my life that I'm really angry at, and it's like, I am not one with you. I am separate from you.
Yes.
Stay away.
Right? What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously,
yeah. I'm
seriously.
feeling that too. Yeah. Today especially, because a lot of times I try really hard to not be in that space. I don't like that space, But I tell you all the time, that space is trying to tell you something, right? So, but man, yeah. Who are you not liking coming at you?
Oh, I'm not gonna bring that up.
What is it that it's coming at you?
Um,
That you're like prickling to, or like it's prickling?
Yeah, I think it's when somebody is, attacking somebody that I love. That's
Okay.
a big deal to
Okay,
me.
yeah.
I get very defensive
Yeah.
and saying things that are not true or taking the truth and twisting it. So there's those, feelings of betrayal and losing trust with people you thought you
Oh, right on. Yeah.
had a level of relationship with. And yeah, it's very challenging. And yeah, so it's like, you're not safe. Stay away. I am not one with you.
Yeah.
But like we've talked about last week or whenever it was, how it's like, okay, what is bothering me about what they're doing? It is because it does reside within myself.
Right. It rides in. And what is that? So what is that for you? What are you feeling in you that is prickly because of the way they're doing that?
Oh, because I know in my life I've said bad things about people or spread things that were not true, which it's gross. It's really gross. So
It's a commandment too, isn't it?
Oh gosh, I should know this off the top of my head, but
Bearing false witness.
bearing false witness. I mean, I think the application of that is more like at a level of like the justice system, where if I was bearing
Not
false,
just simple slander.
right? But it's still,
the same thing,
it's a big deal. It really
Why
is.
is that a big deal? I wonder. Why is that a big deal to not slander? Why is that a big deal?
Well, according to the Jewish teachings, when you speak negatively about another person, you're essentially committing murder. They equate it to that, because you are harming somebody's reputation. You're harming, their ability to go and do and be in the word. And if our words are so powerful, which we know they are, that carries a lot of weight energetically.
I like that.
I
like
know,
that.
I know.
So that's why it is powerful.
Yeah.
That's why it's a commandment.
Yep.
Okay. So when I used to work at Home Gas in the Caribbean, we were a monopoly propane company. So needless to say, people didn't like us because it's like they couldn't get their propane from anybody else. They had to buy their appliances and propane stuff from us. So that added this whole layer of people that would come in with all these ideas that were not necessarily true. Like, well, you're just going to do this because you're the only propane company. And I remember talking to the general manager at the time, and I was like, okay, we should sort this because it's not good for business to have people talking like this all the time. And we really need to kind of have an established rapport with our customers that they trust us, And so then eventually we just started to ask whenever the slander would come through, because it's going to come through.
Sure.
Everybody has a different frame. We've talked about this before. They have their own journey. So they have their different frame. And so they're going to sling that stuff around. So I would say, just ask the question, is it true? Is it true? Because even if there's a grain of truth in it, address it. You got to rectify that. You got to address it however you need to, with the group or with the person or whatever. Address it, rectify it, and move on, because it needs to be. But then a lot of times, if it's really small, it's almost like just forget it, like a trespass. Like he's crazy. He's talking out of his ass. I can forgive that. I guess it depends on your journey.
Yeah.
What you got to do, right? Like if you're in the whole thing and you're let's say, the general manager and you're responsible for the company, then you've got to take the responsibility to say, okay, that wasn't true. And I'm going to talk to so and so and so, and we're going to go and do a press release or whatever. Or maybe I got to sit down with so and so and so and so and have a heart to heart and say, I see you understand it this way, but let me tell you, you probably understand it that way because here's the way I meant it,
Right.
or here's what I said, and here's how I got turned around, or whatever the situation is. But isn't it funny that slander is important?
Yeah.
Because our words are important.
Yeah. 100%.
And we can't be just using them and saying, taking the energy out of them.
Right. Yeah. 100% agree. But you were thinking about this week a lot about alignment, you were saying too. Do you think that weaves together?
My thing for the week was alignment. Yeah, it was because a lot of things kind of did align for me. And but at the same time, because I'm always seeking truth, and so I kind of started to discover something by going to look at a certain desire that I had, right? Secret shadow stuff. And I suppose in this podcast, we don't necessarily have to talk about details. We can just say, just sexual shadow stuff, stuff like that. But I saw it through, talked to a friend. He's like, dude, life's absurd. Don't worry about it. And those are those sexual shadow things are things that you really need to integrate because otherwise you can't be whole. And so I was able to do that and came out the other side and I was like, that's pretty cool that it worked out that way. And a lot of things were eliminated, about the way, just the way we are with one another. In fact, it was quite illuminating. So I'll be chewing on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, it brings me back to the whole thing that life's a journey, and that you're on your own path of self-discovery. And so, like what you're dealing with now with the two ideas of like, well, we're whole and we're one, but I'm also really upset and I feel so separate from people who act this way towards me.
Right.
It's all the same, right? That is you, and that is that is you.
So do you think it's alignment like with our higher selves or alignment with truth that's been coming to the surface?
With truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's alignment with truth because it was something that wouldn't go away. And then whenever it was seen all the way through, it was like, holy crap, is that all there is to that? And then it was illuminating.
Yeah.
It was like, in it all, when it's all said and done, you see God. That's where he's hiding. Like Alan Watts says, it's all hide and seek.
Right.
And it's like, it's behind your desire. Follow that desire.
Would you say that's true of like anything in life though?
I think so. If it's on the journey,
even somebody that's like stealing or murdering, but
they don't think they're doing wrong. They got some kind of path that they're on. Yeah. Like the Sopranos. Tony Soprano,
not watched.
Nobody thinks that what they're doing is totally wrong. Like for them, they say that they're soldiers. God grants them a pass because on this earth they're just making right what couldn't be made right through the law system. So in heaven they're looked upon like that.
All right, gotcha.
That's his justification for being a criminal.
Intention, like we talked about last week.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's ever doing wrong. There are no saints and sinners, There's no saints and sinners. You're here to do your thing and see it through.
Yeah.
You came as a little piece of source, as all eternity and all love, but you came down here to the playground for the experience.
Yeah.
You ain't going to know it unless there's a little darkness or shadow.
Yeah. Wow. I need to chew on that. Yeah. And maybe that oneness isn't so much about, that spiritual idea of, we're all one. And so I just, let myself get kicked around. I don't know. I don't get that.
I think that's spiritual bypassing, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. So, I do have issues with the whole turn the other cheek concept because I know. But maybe it's just that I stop pretending that I'm separate from the human capacity for anger, for betrayal, for slander, for all of those things, from projection. Like I connect with all of those things, whether, I perceive them to be a negative feeling or a negative behavior. I'm capable, again, going back to that, I am capable of all of that and feeling all of that. And maybe that's what that oneness is.
When was the last time you slandered somebody? Can you remember? I'm trying to see if I can think. When was the last time
Like slander or gossip?
Okay, let's start with gossip.
Probably as recently as yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yuck.
We do a lot, don't we?
Oh,
So what's the difference between gossip and slander?
In my mind, I would think a slander is
Intentional?
Yes.
To undercut
yeah,
somebody.
like cut somebody's legs right out from under them.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
All right.
to intent to harm.
Right. Yeah. I think, you can't be a coward. I think if your soul's journey, if you're in a position where that's what you're having to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
I would set up processes to deal with it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can't ignore it. If somebody comes up with some slander, the first thing I say, instead of that's not true, the first thing I say is there any truth to that?
Right. Yeah.
Is there any truth to that?
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, I'm always asking that question,
Right.
especially if you're in that position. That way, maybe that is turning the other cheek. Ever think of that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think of the turning the other cheek all the time too. Like if somebody's going to slap you, and then like you're supposed to just give them that other cheek to slap.
Yeah, I don't jive with that.
Okay. What would happen if we tried?
Because I feel like I need to put up boundaries so that somebody does not continue to harm me, not to just give myself over to be kicked around.
Yeah, especially like in slander. I don't think it'd be very healthy to just keep having that lobbed over there to you. You have to deal with that in some sort of way. But that's what I'm saying. I think in a lot of ways that is your soul's journey. Like you get good by addressing those things one by one.
Yeah.
People only get better one by one.
Yeah.
Sting said that all this time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because they just have a different frame,
Yes. Yeah.
And it feels personal to you maybe because you're a little vulnerable, open, because of what's going on, and you wish the world could be more whatever. But, the world doesn't stop because people die.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure doesn't.
I wish it could, because it's really sad sometimes, but it doesn't. It keeps going.
Yeah. Just like the beehive keeps going.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop.
Yeah, they sure don't. Yeah, so this is a new venture for us, and for our producer Jessica, who's joining me on the journey.
Yeah.
And it's been really enjoyable to, just not that I'm doing anything. I'm just letting the bees be.
Right.
But I sat out
facilitating what they do.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Right.
That actually that was a pretty cool part of last week.
It was.
Watching y'all do that.
It was so impressive.
There was a lot of connections between the bee, the beehive, divine feminine.
Okay.
And how that gets manifested.
Right. Talk more about that. Yeah.
That could be a whole other podcast.
Well, it could be, yeah.
I think that could be a whole other podcast, because I think we've got the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm going out on a limb here, but I think that, we haven't been paying attention to our own souls and our own, like, we don't even know the connection to our bodies properly.
So true.
Like divine feminine, divine masculine within yourself.
Right.
And to make the two one, we don't know that.
Yeah.
As Americans.
Yeah.
We think that sex is something outside of yourself. And it's just a sad realization that you realize that the first half of your life you lived the way Madison Avenue wanted you to, and all your friends and family did too. And you're just like, you know what? Motherfuckers,
Mhm.
you were all fucking wrong. You put the cart before the horse. We're here to have a good time.
Mhm.
That's it. It's a playground.
Mhm.
And you guys keep making it work first. I
Mhm.
never fucking got it.
Yeah.
And I never will.
Yeah.
I mean, I was illuminated.
Yeah.
And you guys are working too fucking much. You need to go fucking play some more. For real. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
All you're slandering people? What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Quit slandering. Shut your mouth. Go find something cool to do. Fuck.
Find something cool to do. That's it. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we might do a podcast on it because you drill down into all that stuff, and it's the main bitch of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has that same fucking bitch.
What work?
Sex.
Work.
Play.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Turns into everything has to turn into some kind of sexual shadow because of the American society and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're not separate.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a good time. That's what I thought of when Julie died. She turned it into trying to keep herself alive instead of playing. She should have been playing the whole time, especially if you're told, oh, from a doctor of all people,
Right.
oh, you've only got 6 months to live.
Yeah.
Or if you don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need your fucking chemotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out there and do what I want to do because this is the playground.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Very illuminating. Very illuminating. So no, we're not separate. And all these little things that you're bumping up
Yeah.
against, it's
Yeah.
because you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's that disagreeableness, I think, that
Mhm.
either you're gonna say, all right, this is the soul journey I signed up for,
Yeah.
so let
Yeah.
me get the armor I
Right.
need. Let me get that right.
Yeah.
I don't speak very well,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have those leadership qualities that I need. Well,
Mhm.
fuck, I'm gonna go take a class on public speaking and
Mm-hmm.
leadership or whatever. I'm
Sure.
gonna do it constantly until that slander goes away or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all just whatever, maybe it's a phone call to that person, or maybe it's a newspaper article that has to be written. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
if that's part of your soul's journey and it's important, then
Mhm.
you need to deal with it.
Right.
But if it's not, like
Mhm.
if your soul's journey has nothing to do with the slander that's coming your way,
Yeah.
that's just somebody fucking jealous of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let them have it.
Yeah.
Let them have it. People who know you, they know you're not like that.
Yeah. Very true.
You know,
I
there
know.
could be
And it's
somebody
like,
over
why
there,
am I
but there's
bothered?
not.
Because I don't even respect these people anyway. So I don't care what they say.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there is some there though, you know,
Mhm.
just because somebody isn't somebody you like, doesn't, because that happened to me a lot. I would see, people there's no way they have any kind of grievance that is worth a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'd come in and they'd tell me something. I'd be like, oh, fuck. They absolutely do have a grievance.
Yeah.
I may not have thought it was a grievance, but the way they shared it with me and
Yeah.
the frame
Yeah.
that they came with it is like,
Sure.
oh, that's absolutely a grievance.
Yeah.
I see how you're coming to me with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they love that too,
Mm-hmm.
because they've been heard.
Sure.
And I say, yeah, you're right. It is the way you're telling me that way.
Mhm.
You're right.
Mhm.
That was me, and that's
Mhm.
how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. Next time I'll do this or that. So,
Right. Yeah. Those frames through which or the lenses
Mhm.
through which we
see the world.
see the world and then experience
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
is
don't you ever
everything.
wonder how these people bump up against you?
Yeah. Sure.
Because not everybody gets to bump up against
Yeah.
you. Not
Yeah.
everybody has access to the
Right.
Ramses,
Yeah. Yeah.
or to you in
Yeah.
particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until you go to the grocery store
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden the produce guy can talk to you. He has access to you.
Mhm.
Or you go to get your hair done and the stylist, she has access to you, to your
Mhm.
thoughts and words and all that. So it's like, isn't it weird how we all kind of bump up together? And why is it that some
Yes.
people do and some people don't?
Right. Right.
And you have to discern.
Right.
That's what I do.
Oh, giving me more to think about, Pablo. Access. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The silent pauses, you just skip right over that, can't you? if
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
long
Yeah.
pause.
I can
But
just
then sometimes pauses are
sometimes
nice.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe alignment is about, not arguing with what we're actually feeling. When we argue with, okay, however, whatever I'm feeling or whatever needs are that I'm experiencing, if I argue with it, then I'm creating a resistance. But
Mhm.
if I can just release on it and
Yeah.
let it flow, there's alignment.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's like martial arts. I've never really taken martial arts, but what I understand about it is like it's almost like you just want to deflect their energy away from
Mm.
hurting you
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to come towards you, and then you're going to want to either get out of the way or do one of those movements, to
Right.
move it. So in our world of words, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's going to come at you. The slander is going to come at you, but I think you have to have a mechanism to deal with it properly. Like either ask, is it true, and deal with it,
Right.
or is it not even significant to my journey and that I can ignore it? Because if I can ignore it, that's energy I don't have to expend on that as well.
Right. Right.
And then like if you get your process really good, then it's almost as if you understand that your whole job is to do that. That is part of my job. Part of my job is I'm deflecting that stuff. And then a lot of times I used to tell people, well, actually it wasn't me. It was a customer service manager. She brought it up to us one time because she was like, Paul, how come the phones ring so much in here? And I was like, I know, I've always been like very trained to just be able to answer the phone, within 3 rings, just get it, get that gas order, get the call. So within 3 rings, you're getting that call. And then one day she said, how come we get so many damn phone calls in here? There's a lot of phone calls. And then she sat down, she said, look at all these phone calls. And then she went through what they were. And then she said, how cool would it be if we did, like she had different ideas for basically a lot of these questions can be answered on a website, on a phone message, a sign, all different kind of ways to address those silly little phone calls
Right.
to where you kind of avoid some of them. So instead of getting 100 phone calls, now with these little things in place, now you're going to get 30.
Right.
And those are your 30 phone calls that are the good ones, like for sales and for more gas and all that. And I was like, holy shit, that's really smart. So it's just a process. So in other words, you're going to get the phone call.
Right.
So if you're going to get slandered, that's happening.
Right.
Have a process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a process. And then once you realize, okay, this is a common thing happening over and over, let's put something in place where I'll just nip that around the bud. Either a person even sometimes or an activity. I know that at the very end of working at Home Gas, we had a reputation of, like not listening to certain contractors or whatever. And so I remember towards the end, I told our managers, as it was like, let's have a after hours. 'Cause it was real popular in the Cayman Islands where the businesses after 5 would have an after hours. And so they would have nibbles and drinks and people from everywhere would come just to, see the new cars or see the new whatevers. And I told them, I said, let's let Home Gas do that because lately we've been getting a little pushback from our contractors because we haven't been really responsive like we should. And so we had this little get together and it was good because they were able to say some things productively, So it's almost like, maybe the slander and all that kind of stuff is just a way of somebody saying something's not working. Here I am. Could this work better?
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. But I'm just saying from my experience.
Right.
People coming after you with all kinds of bad, negative information that seemed to be the regular thing for me in propane. God. Yeah.
Yeah. The energy business, which doesn't that apply everywhere?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
The energy business, you're right.
Everything's
Dealing in light.
everything's an energy exchange in this life. It really is.
Just like my fire guy.
Yeah.
Give me the firewood. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as my energy teacher is teaching us, energy is really data, what am I doing with all that data?
Right.
I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother
Mhm.
idea that I've been stewing on.
Mhm.
But maybe seeing what's here is just recognizing that, again, this, I don't know, holding that paradox of the human experience of I feel love, I feel anger, I feel resentment, I feel joy. It's,
All together
all together, yeah, in the human heart at the same
at the
time.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think it only makes a difference in your soul's journey is like if it's that important that you need to make a change, I think you'll make a change. But ultimately, I think there isn't nothing outside that you have to do really.
Mhm.
Alan Watts has said that too, that you could go and to India and learn how to become a Buddha, but you don't have to.
Right.
You could just stay here and do that
Yeah.
just as well.
I think that's it for this podcast.
I think, yeah. Well, is there anything else that we didn't cover?
I don't think so.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Yeah, so I can be reached on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, the old Facebook, YouTube, and my business is expansivelifesolutions.com, and I help people who are kind of stuck on the hamster wheel of life, repeating the same old patterns and living in apathy, so that we can break those patterns and actually be aligned.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
to
good.
hold that paradox of opposites that we experience in life.
Yeah.
How about for
right
you,
on.
Pablo?
Well, I would like to help anybody that wants to do this kind of work. And the easiest way to do it is just reach me at info@chroniclesofpablo.com and just email me. And, if you have questions or if you just want to talk about this stuff, because I remember when I was growing up or, getting up, I didn't have anybody to talk to as a manager or a worker about these kind of things. It seems like you'd have to go to church or something, and church wasn't a place for me. So, if these kind of things that interest you and you want to talk about them, just email me and we can start the dialogue.
All right.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Yeah, you bet. Let's have a good week.